Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. Soul Garden. Hello, Soul Healers, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Update. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your host to the universe. And I'd like to invite you down to soulgarden.me, where I am the host to remarkable souls living their brightest. And we've got a new feature called Sunday Fun Days, and that is when I will release the horoscopes on Sunday mornings for our members, of course. So if you're a member, you can now see your horoscope on Sunday morning. If you're a non-member, you can still see it on YouTube and other places as of Monday. So it's kind of my little thing of giving gratitude. Also, the Guardian Agency is now offering to watch over you via email. So some people said they don't want the text messages. We'll email you 5 to 7 times a day. I don't know if you know this. I write every one of these things all night long. That's what I do. Well, not all night, but I certainly do write them. Every one is written by me. And if you'd like to have me guide you, well then check it out. And Nikki Bright. Have you ever read The Artist's Way? Did you complete The Artist's Way? You haven't done it with Nikki Bright. She will guide you. This is a guided book tour. She's going to crunch The Artist's Way down to 6 weeks. If you're interested, come on down to soulmart.me for more details. Now, we are working in Libra, and we are wrapping up a 2.5-year transit with Saturn in Libra. For Virgos, this meant the raising of your self-confidence, building yourself back up after you entered into Virgo 2.0. That turns into your ability to be productive and be a valuable person on the planet. And that turns into abundance, being able to manifest what you are worth. You cannot draw in $1 million if you do not believe spiritually you are worth $1 million. Law of attraction. What do you think it's attracting to? So we start off on Sunday. Now that we have the horoscopes on Sunday, Saturn rules the day, and there's a chance of grande, I think, for the Virgos. That's because you are starting to feel your value. Saturn makes you very decisive, and the moon in Aries makes you seek closeness and intimacy. Now, looking at the planets, there's a couple of themes worth mentioning. On the one hand, the moon was full over the weekend, and that full moon pulled you into trust issues. So there was with the full moon, it was a trust versus value situation. You might have had to gamble on yourself. You might have had to say no to someone because you're worth more now. But there's certainly a boundary issue that happened with the full moon. As we move into Sunday, there's a Bermuda fear triangle here, which does begin with having to innovate your trust issues, your Uranus. So you've got to keep changing the way you trust and why. You're going to keep growing like this as long as Uranus is in Aries. But right now, trust issues might be holding you back. Those trust issues directly oppose your sense of value. So you're going to have to gamble on yourself. That's what this is coming down to. That's part of the trust. And then with Pluto, if you do this, Pluto says, hey, your personal dreams, your love is going to move forward. Pluto is direct now, meaning that Virgos are moving forward with their personal dreams and heart's desires. Again, I think only if, going back to this, if you get that balance between self-esteem and where to draw the lines down. So that's the beginning of Sunday. One more trine. As you innovate your boundaries, says Uranus, you will have greater and greater faith in yourself. So this has got to be the most important part, having flexible boundaries. Just because you've never done it before doesn't mean it's not supposed to be done or won't work for you. Then on Monday, action rules the day, and you might be a little bitchy, okay? I guess because you're heavily triggered by a lot of the planets. The moon is deep, focusing on trust and intimacy. I think you do trust now, but you're kind of waiting for the other foot to drop. There's also a soul pyramid that's trying to entice you into a whole new way of being. Basically, the universe is seducing you to trust. That's the moon. So if you can let your emotions trust and flow, you're going to feel your heart, that's Pluto, and you're going to feel the inner faith. So it's what you love, what you trust, inner faith. What you love, what you trust, inner faith. That gives you a powerful shift inside yourself that will put you on the right course and helps you over this red line, this opposition. This opposition is the final emotional test of trusting versus value. So you might be playing the lottery, you might be giving up one job to start another, you might be taking a real gamble in your life right now, and the universe is saying go for it, especially if you're feeling your heart and you're feeling that trust. So Monday we start off the week pretty intense. On Tuesday, we squat and hold space, sunny and pensive for the virgins. The sun is ruled by Mother Earth, so we're going to manifest. You're really going to see some manifestation, but emotions are self-reflective. With the moon in Taurus, you're processing, you're learning, you're seeing what's worthy or not. This is where Virgos definitely overanalyze, one of those overanalyzation periods. Now, one thing that's worth noted, Mars in Scorpio says you have the right attitude. If it feels right, if your gut says yes, go forward with that conversation, go forward with that attitude, go forward with that thinking. All right, so Mars is encouraging that. And the moon at the same time is saying, just make sure your feelings agree with it in your beliefs. That beliefs and feelings are the same way. So Tuesday is kind of an adjusting day, if you think about it, but you're moving forward with an attitude and you're moving forward with a certain belief. And at one point, the moon is going to tug a war between thoughts and beliefs. You're going to find synergy. This is really a prep day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's a strange day. Now, Chiron rules the day, which is your ruling planet. So Virgos will feel okay, where the rest of the planet's going to feel whacked out. That's because we've got a major traffic jam up in space, and you might even have some anxiety if you fall prey to the old games. Let's take a look. Bum, bum, grand square is what they call it. Forcing synergy between 4 points in your life, which basically means you get nothing done all day because you're being pulled in 4 directions. But Neptune is your relationships, trying to find balance with your ego. So that ego versus relationships, ego versus love. And then the moon in Taurus, what you feel you believe, what things should be, and your actual thoughts with Mars. So it's thoughts versus beliefs, relationships versus ego. What does that leave you with? That leaves you with what you're worth, right? Sun at 11 degrees. So while all these things are finding balance, I think you're bringing integrity to your self-esteem. So this is where a lot of the work is actually being done on the inside when nothing seems to be happening on the outside. Then on Thursday, Jupiter rules the day, and the moon moves into Gemini by the day's end. That means you're going to be cloudy, very righteous, very philosophical, very passionate about what you believe, but also career-focused by the end of the day. Now, the interesting thing is Jupiter is retrograde. This is the first of many planets pulling out, leaving us by ourselves on the icy path here for the rest of the Sun in Libra transit. Jupiter retrograde is just the first of these. Let's take a closer look. The moon is going to cross over Jupiter in 24 hours, but Jupiter retrograde means that career will not move forward for 6 months. So you've been chug, climbing with career ambition since the summer, and you're going to stop now and reflect and carry on with the filling in of the learning. So to some degree, if you're still in school, if you still have things to do, you're going to feel deflated. That means the universe is counting on you to come up with the energy. You'll see what I mean. And that's part of the Thursday bailout. What was the other part about Thursday? No, that's just it. Just that it's a weird day for that respect. The really weird day is Friday. Now, Friday is sunny and electric, and from what I can tell, from Friday until Sunday, people's lives will change. I mean, this looks like probably one of the most powerful moments that people will attribute to 2012. Not kidding, this weekend. It starts with Freaky Friday. Uranus rules the day, so there is breakdown. We're going to have breakdown. So something you thought with business won't work, or something you thought with values won't work, or something you thought with money won't work. The universe is going to pull the rug out from under you, and this is the universe actually getting you to getting it right, but you have to respond differently. That's the key, is responding differently. Let's take a close look at the planets. Now, today is the day when the moon does cross over Jupiter, so you suddenly feel all of your career advancement so far, or you might feel your career suddenly stopping. Doesn't matter. That career is just kind of a boost, I think, to get you to test your self-esteem, your self-confidence. So Uranus ruling the day is really an earthquake testing your self-confidence. Here's another tricky thing. Saturn leaves Libra. Saturn goes 0 degrees. So that means Jupiter's offline and now Saturn's offline. And look, Mercury is also at 0 degrees, a very weird degree. 0 means 0. So on this particular Freaky Deaky Friday, we have no Saturn, we have no Jupiter, we have no Mercury, and we have no Neptune. So we are disconnected from intuition, disconnected from control, disconnected from thoughts, and disconnected from expansion. What does that leave us? That leaves you with yourself and everything you have learned in Libra for the last 2.5 years. This is how God sets us up to succeed or fail. She doesn't do anything but teach us as much as we know and then gently pull out and see what the kids do. So this is what I've been leading you up to all these weeks to stay focused on. What are you going to be focused on? Well, what you're worth. what you deserve to have, what you believe you are worth. That's what we're trying to get to. Make sure you're holding that space with the breakdown breakthrough. No matter what goes wrong with your business plan, you put your chin up and say, I am worth this because I said so. Then comes Saturday. Oh, this is when it gets really crazy, what I call a real-time reality crossing. I believe Saturday will be slow motion, butterfly effect. Whatever happens on Saturday, even if it's tiny, it's going to represent the next decade. It's a very delicate of energy that has a very profound effect. That's the only, a lot of this I get intuitively. Let's look at the planets as to why it's real-time reality. Reality is moving in real time. Let me set up the diagram for you. All those planets I mentioned are offline. However, they move into a soul pyramid of emotional synergy. This is a wet trine, okay? Pulling together your relationships, your new attitude that is breaking because Saturn is now in Scorpio, and your feelings of Cancer, where you feel you belong in the world. So your marriages, your new ideas, and where you belong in the world, a new place of belonging. See, this is like a freaky deaky vortex that pulls you into this future feeling, the feelings of the future, right? Well, emotion is what manages most of our reality. So by feeling the future, you believe, I believe, move into the future at this one time, because Venus at 4 degrees means there's a breakdown of reality at the same time, and we've got this gorgeous opposition between your personal dreams and the moon in Cancer. So you're feeling your dreams versus the new place in society. You're feeling the future. You're letting go of reality. And the sun itself is helping you to raise your prices. So I believe wherever we are on Saturday, we're going to find that our prices are raised. This is the day of spirituality. I'll be sending out crazy with text to those watched over. On Sunday, Venus rules the day, and suddenly things get super cool, super social. Venus means you'll restore balance and order. So whatever little slip you might have had with the full moon and all the breakdowns this week, you are restored to what you believe you are worth. Things look like they're going to be optimistic. I think things will look positive, and the universe has given us a yod. Oh my God, no kidding, right? So after all this craziness, we get a yod. And what does the yod say? Oh, it says, take this new attitude brewing based on what you're worth. Take this new Virgo 2.0 that you're now feeling realized. I mean, if ever you felt Virgo 2.0 realized, you're feeling Virgo 2.0 realized now with the soul capital winning the day. And point it into changing what you're comfortable with. And the reason why Virgos have got to constantly change what they're comfortable with is because if you want success and you've never had it, it's going to be uncomfortable. All right, Virgo, that's all I got for this 7-day forecast. Be sure to check in and 7 more on Fun Day Sunday. Check out Jenny Watson, all the amazing Virgos we have here to help you in the garden. And I will see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.